Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's on Steam. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we met Vivian here, who basically told us, they wanted to change the system and, challenge the other guy whose name eludes me, and that convinced Ulrich to be Vivian's champion. Which, I'm in favor. I want to fight for Vivian, but a thing that did really confuse me on the last Let's Play is this line.
So, if I challenge him at the ball, after you ask him for his support, I bet he'll make you fight me for it. Use your men instead. He's predictable, but you use that to your advantage, Monarch.
Again, I've thought about this. I asked my friend, and they did that thing where they're like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe not." Where it's like, this game seems to be heavily hinting right here, unless I'm completely missing the ball, that he's saying, "Hey, maybe you should ask for Draco." I think his name is support, and then it will be Draco, probably you and your men fighting us, but who you actually fight for is up to you. At which point it's like, okay. Also, Vivian, don't know how much of a fighter he is. Ulrich, he's supposed to be a really good fighter, but Ulrich said that the guy that we will be fighting, maybe, is makes him look like a whelp. So I'm wondering if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, if you fight on Vivian's side, you'll probably win, but you'll lose a lot. But if you fight on Draco's side, you can turn the tables and everybody goes home happy except for Draco. And also we had a heart-to-heart with Ulrich, at which point he's like, so, I'm a Highlander. He's thousands of years old, and I said I like older men. Now that I think about it, I'm not 100% sure. Personally. And I'm having to assume it's one of those things where he's immortal, but only in the nobody kills him sense. Like he doesn't age kind of thing. Also, if you're that old, shouldn't you be able to beat pretty much everybody in battle? Or at least a lot of people? Just saying. That, and also, I don't know, if you have thousands of years, maybe try something else than a great sword. At least so you know the tactics someone would use in those weapons. Anyways, let's see what other people are talking about.
I don't want to watch Ulrich fight in the Colosseum. If the Monarch sides with Draco, then he could die.
Please give me hints.
But he's prepared to die for his beliefs, Fortame. There isn't a better way to go. A true, noble end.
Honestly, I'd prefer if his life had no end at all. I have a feeling this choice will end up dividing us. I don't want to fight against Ulrich or watch him die.
You're really putting faith in that if I join Draco, then I and Draco would win. Also, I feel like Ulrich would think differently of that thing.
It's all about respecting his wishes, Fortame. If he puts his life on the line for Alarinthia, we can't deny that. You do the same for Valinor. In fact, you already are.
Because, he's immortal.
Really?
This war is just battle after battle, Fortame. You put your life on the line back at Rebel HQ. That means you are ready to die for your beliefs.
Also, it would be weird that we would fight in the Colosseum, since the amount of sword fighting we've had is getting our butt kicked by Sovy, and the amount of training we've had is literally nothing. Unless there's some unspoken amount of training we've been doing.
I guess you're right when you put it that way.
So Ulrich isn't just fighting for Alarinthia. Remember that our army gets a boost out of this. At the end of the day, it benefits all of Alestia.
But what if the person we side with loses?
That's what makes things difficult, Fortame. Vivian is the right choice, in my opinion, but not the correct one. The correct choice is Draco. He's won every battle and has a huge army.
This is pretty complicated. So far, every choice was concrete. There was no room to choose and then lose.
Okay, I think I got what you mean then. As far as we know, there wasn't one that there was an obvious failure.
Alarinthia is different than everything we know. I guess it makes sense that things would change once we arrived. The monarch has a tough choice to make. It's a gamble at best.
It shouldn't have to be that way, though. The future of a nation in our world is a gamble? That's bad news. Vivian has the right idea here for sure.
You mean abolishing Colosseum battles?
Yeah. Things should be just like the rest of Alestia. If they were, then we wouldn't even be in this situation.
But we shouldn't change something just because we don't like it. That's what the Triumvirate did to this world. We can't be like them. Alarinthia has been fine since the dawn of time. It can continue to be fine.
I always hate that sort of thing in like anime and whatnot, where it's like, these guys want to change something, and that's bad. We want to change something, so that could also be seen as bad.
Besides, Valinor is the exact same way. Independent, with its own hierarchy and leadership.
Well, Valessa plans to keep it that way, yeah. But honestly, I want unity with the other nations. I think the same would be best for Alarinthia. The Triumvirate changed this world to suit them, right? That's not what we're doing. We're liberating it, making it better. Our end goal is different, so I don't think we can be compared to them.
You have a point, actually. Maybe I've got the wrong idea. A flip coin does the same thing until it lands, after all. The truth is only shown after everything is said and done.
Exactly!
In that case, maybe I do side with Vivian. With Ulrich's strength, he may stand a chance. I hope the monarch is on the same page as us.
I guess we'll find out once we get to the ball. But I wonder if Draku will request our aid. And for that matter, who will its champion be? Gosh, I hope things don't get even more complicated. Not sure I could handle a web more tangled than this.
Oh, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Don't say that. After Rebel HQ, don't say that.
So, we might have to fight Ulrich. That's pretty scary to think about, Pro.
Only if the Monarch sides with Draku, Valessa. There's still a pretty good chance that won't happen. I wonder who Draku will elect as his champion, though.
Well, his army is supposed to be incredibly powerful. He must get to handpick the strongest Alarinthians. I'm sure Ulrich can handle it, though. At least, I hope.
Well, Draku doesn't like to waste his men, remember? It's possible he'll elect an outsider, meaning one of us. Vivian is like an insect to him. Super easy to crush.
So, we'll be fighting each other in the end? Isn't this supposed to be a fight to the death?
Only until one of the people die, I think.
Exciting, isn't it?
No, it's not. That means one of us will die.
Not exactly.
Huh?
The match ends if the champion or the leader falls. It'd be possible to end this with Vivian or Draku's death. The champion is just there to spice things up, I guess. If it were just the two leaders, they'd only fight each other. Having two champions ensures the fight constantly changes pace. It makes things sound more interesting, at least. You need strategy. Watching two leaders in an unending deadlock would be boring. The champions and a small army of men really shake it up. It makes sure the leaders are at the top of their game too. They have to watch every direction and constantly be ready. It serves to show us how strong they truly are. It's crazy. Draku is undefeated, but Ulrich might just stand a chance.
I think you're kind of missing my point, Pro.
Really?
I don't think of Vivian and Draku as expendable. At the end of the day, one of us will die, no matter what. Even if it's one of them, it's still something I'd like to avoid.
Then it sounds like you side with Vivian, then. Draku's death would be the final death in the Colosseum. There'd be no more fights like this under his reign.
What would the Colosseum be turned into?
You're right, but it's not so easy. We have to kill him just because he thinks differently? There's no way to avoid casualties, and I hate that.
Yeah, but it's not just Alarinthia, Valessa. You could say that about this entire war in general. Sometimes it's better to look at people as means to an end.
I wonder if this is going to do the anime thing where we don't choose somebody's death. Because, you know, and some of them be like, no, death is bad. And it's like, well, even though we've had all this stuff before and we haven't actually set any new policies in stone, I guess death is bad now. So, don't do that.
I can never do that.
A lot of people feel the same way, trust me. But that's probably why the Triumvirate is in charge. We need to start looking at things differently if we want to win.
If we have to compromise ourselves, then is it truly winning? I don't know, Pro. I think I need a little bit of time to myself.
Of course.
Okay. Would have smooched him, but just had some drinks and learned he's a Highlander. Talk to them. Just can look around here. Tavern is open. I can see the back outside. Being connected to the marketplace is a genius idea. People enter and leave, like it's a normal part of their day. There's paintings here. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. A closer inspection, one of them looks like Ulrich, the legendary one. Does Draku not care that paintings of his enemies are out in the open? Good point. It's odd. No matter where I go, taverns are all the same. There was Peregrino, the tavern in Museo, and now this. I guess no matter where you are, things never change. I mean, you could always visit a hookah bar. Like I already did that. Okay. And unskip. Now, let's see what Sovy's up to. Sovy knelt before his masters, with Halen and Shane behind him. Time had finally come to tell them what happened in Museo. Having Halen's support, however, meant they wouldn't learn the full truth.
The general of the rebellion has fallen. Good work, Shane. You've earned our trust. We had a feeling you'd prove yourself useful. But what of the Cirrus? We notice that you don't have our blade. This displeases us. Please, explain, Sovy.
We thought it better to damage their morale. They have the blade, but they can never recover. Next time we see them, it'll be like crushing an insect.
You failed your mission, Sovy. We wanted you to retrieve that blade. Now they have time to regroup and replan.
Yes, they have time, but not enough. I know where they'll be going, Masters. With your permission, I'll go and end this.
How does he know?
End what should already be over. Sovy, do you realize what you've done? There's a reason we needed that blade. But you failed to retrieve it, and let the Cirrus get away. Any silver lining you can come up with is simply not enough. Domek's death will only fuel them with rage to use against us.
Only if we give it time to fester. We can leave immediately. Please.
Halen, is Sovy speaking the truth? Do you trust his ability to carry out another mission?
Halen steps forward, nervous. Gulping, he looks at his masters.
No.
Dun dun dun. I was wondering if that was going to appear. Sovy looked shocked, as Halen had promised him discretion. Grits his teeth in anger, taking deep breaths, trying to stay calm.
Tell us what really happened, Halen. We need to know, in order to plan our next move.
Of course, Masters. Sovy failed on purpose. He had the blade and the Cirrus's life, but took neither. I don't know why. I regret letting him run off alone.
Halen!
Sovy's loud cry echoes through the Triumvirant's chambers. His masters shake their heads, clearly displeased at this news.
He planned to deceive you all along. In fact, he had me promise to lie as well. I did, but I planned to tell you regardless.
Halen kneels down, swearing fealty.
I am unable to lie to you, Masters. You gave me life, and for that I am grateful. Shane and myself can carry out the next mission.
Gave him life?
At this time, Sovy is unfit for duty. It pains me to say, but it is the truth.
The Triumvirate pauses, thinking for a few minutes. An eerie silence fills the room before they speak again. Sovy and Halen, both kneeling, look up at their masters.
Rise, Grand Inquisitor.
I'm just thinking like both of them stand up. It's like, not so fast. Sovy slowly rises, his fists trembling in anger.
No, not you, Sovy.
Not so fast.
What?
Grand Inquisitor, please rise.
It'd be even more funnier if Halen went up and it's like, no, not you. Shane. They say it again, and Halen looks around, confused. A few moments later, he rises, standing up beside Sovy.
Masters?
Sovy is hereby stripped of the rank of Grand Inquisitor. Halen, taking this mantle, you will train Shane as your apprentice. We trust that you will do as we command, and avoid letting us down.
Sovy takes a few steps back, while Halen nods.
Please, Masters, I beg you to reconsider. We have them in our grasp. We can do this.
Sovy, we would have understood the failure of your mission. But lying to us, the lack of loyalty and honesty is unacceptable. It's almost starting to seem like your allegiance lies somewhere else.
It doesn't. I swear.
We cannot be certain that you're telling the truth. Surely you can see how that lie has damaged our trust. Halen, however, has proven to be nothing but loyal. Shane killed a key member of the rebellion as well. You come back to us with nothing to show but deception. It hurts us, and so you must be punished for your actions.
Sovy head slumps down, accepting defeat. If he wanted to win them back, he'd have to endure his punishment. Fighting it was useless, and would only serve to make things worse for him.
Very well. I understand. But know that I will make this up to you. Until you need me again, I'll be in my chambers.
Going to the torture room? He starts to walk away, but quickly stopped by his masters.
No.
Turn around, the look of anger is more apparent on his face.
Excuse me?
Your punishment must be rather severe. Without that blade, we are vulnerable.
Then tell me what you plan to do. There is no pain I will not endure for you.
Halen, Shane, come here.
Doing as instructed, they approach the Triumvirate. Turn around, Sovy is faced by all 5 of his now superiors.
We no longer have any use for you, Sovy. The Inquisition has been reformed, and is now stronger. We have no choice but to exile you from Balteus. Permanently.
What?
You will leave immediately. This is non-negotiable. Set in stone.
It is kind of weird that they're just like, well, you're clearly powerful, and we're stripping you of all rank. just get the fuck out of here, okay? Sovy shakes his head, clearly fighting back tears.
After everything I've done for you, you're going to what? Just throw me away?
Surprised they're not trying to execute him, but maybe that's what they're going to do, or plan to do.
Yes. Without Rain in danger, we need a strong core. We need men who can get the job done, without question. This is something you seem to be incapable of, Sovy.
There must be something I can do.
No, Sovy. There's nothing you can do. It's too late. Unless you march in here with that blade and the Cirrus. Well, to put it bluntly, we never wish to see your face again.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be like, is it like Avatar The Last Airbender thing, where he's like, well, he's either going to join our cause or join our cause and then betray us. But I'll have to see. Because I'm 75% sure that he's going to join our cause, maybe? So, Tel El Castle, it doesn't seem to have a star there. Let's make sure. Book, Ulrich. Everything seems to be in order there. What is our time? Of course, it's going to be in the 20 minutes. Sure. Anything interesting out here? Not particularly. Okay, back to the city. Castle. Oh. Yeah, I guess it would be multiple places here. Castle front. We're in the castle gates, and to my surprise, I see trees like back at home. There's grass too, almost as green as the grass back in Valenorth. I had no idea how Dracu got this here, but it sure wasn't cheap.
Wow, this is incredible. I know you said he was rich, but this is crazy. I've never seen such a fancy place. Not in my entire life.
Damik steps forward, clearly amazed as well.
So this is where Dracu lives. It seems a bit excessive, don't you think? I prefer our tunnels, a lot more secretive.
Alarinthia is all about showcasing your power. Most rulers add a wing or two to the castle during their reign. It's only going to get bigger and bigger with each passing year. Unless, of course, Vivian takes over. He's not fixated on that kind of stuff.
I can't imagine it getting much bigger, to be honest. What does one ruler need to do with all that space?
Well, he has a large army as well, larger than Vivian's. But don't let that sway us. I think you've seen enough to know that this place needs changing.
Right, of course. So what, do we just march right in? I don't see any guards or security.
You'd think there'd be something. Anti-poison squads or something? Look around and he's right. I just see a lot of partygoers. They're all sipping some sort of alcohol, and they look at peace. I suppose this is one way to stop people from fighting back. I notice a large man exit the castle gates and slowly approach us. He's not carrying any weapons, so I doubt he's some sort of security. At least the one with the noticeable weapons, at least. Looks intimidating, of course, but that's about it. Is he Wesley?
I'll take care of this, just like before. We can't risk slipping up in this castle. One misstep, and everyone will be after us.
I'll step back, trusting Ulrich's word. Takes a few steps forward, meeting the mysterious man. Something tells me that this is Dracu's guard. I just know it.
Westy, I presume. That's an interesting name, you know?
It's a nickname for your information. And you must be Ulrich. You sure stand out.
Well, that's a weird-looking smile from the front.
Yes. We come in peace, don't worry. We are here for the ball, and Dracu. Is it possible to request an audience?
He's a busy man, you know.
That face.
So am I, so don't waste our time. Can we have an audience or not?
Wesley sighs and crosses his arms.
Fine, fine. I'll let you in to see him. He's been expecting you, you know. We've been keeping watch since the docks.
Just like Vivian's man.
Yeah, but we let him get to you first. It's not often an army comes here from the mainland. We wanted to hear his offer, so we could top it.
And top it. Draku wants our army as well? We're starting to become popular around here.
Don't let that get to your head, Ulrich. You're just as disposable to him as Vivian. You just happen to be both disposable and strong.
You might want to work on your public relations skills.
Look at this ball and then say that to me again. That's right, you can't. Now let's get going. I'll be inside the gates when you're ready.
That voice does not really match the stature. I mean, big arms, but looks kind of, I don't know, relatively scrawny and dopey. Walks away, leaving Ulrich to turn back to us. So it seems like everybody has use for us in this place. Vivian was probably right. Draco would use us to fight him. Yeah.
Well, that makes things easier, doesn't it? This is going to go exactly like we expected. Let's just help Vivian and get this over with.
But is there a way to make sure that no one, or at least the fewest amongst the good guys, die?
Draco has a bigger army, but Vivian has a brighter future. That's what we're fighting for, remember? A better future. It might be a bit harder to win, but we can still do it.
Everybody nods, agreeing on this unanimously. Makes sense, since they didn't want to fight Ulrich. But ultimately, the final decision would be up to me.
This seems to be going pretty well. I hope we're not walking into a trap.
Again?
Draco wouldn't try anything during his ball. This is about making the people happy, not scared. Let's hear him out, and get this over with for good.
Sure, sounds good to me. On your mark, Monarch.
They all spread out and started looking around the area. Dominic was right. Everything seems to be going so well. We deserve it, after all we went through. That's what I think. Deserve... It's going down, or getting tricky? It's crazy to think that within a few days we'd be attacking Balteus. We couldn't waste any time. Go right after securing the allegiance. But I think back to the moment on the ship, where I touched the blade. I wanted to show our victory, it showed me nothing. Pushing forward in spite of that. In spite of that? That was the definition of hope. If there was anything that could help us win the war, it was that hope. The castle's massive. I've never seen anything like it. I wonder if the Triumvirate castle is anything like this. It's crazy to think that each ruler adds more and more to it. It gives something like a patchwork look. Every ruler has a different taste and design after all. I can't imagine the story behind this castle.
Now that's something I'd like to climb. Ulrich, what do you think about that?
I'd rather you didn't. They might think you're breaking in. Or even worse, coming to kill Draco.
Oh, maybe I'll ask him first then. Do you think he'd give me permission?
I don't think he's the giving type, Fortin. He'd probably just laugh you away and call you a fool.
Wait, really? Then what about this ball? Isn't he just giving all this stuff away?
Well, yeah, but not for free. It's to win the people over, gain their allegiance. He's not doing it to be generous. He has a motive.
True. I'll still give it a shot, though. The worst he can do is say no.
Trust me, he can do far worse than that. Don't ask unless you're ready to handle it.
He doesn't seem to lead directly into the castle. There still seems to be a long way to walk once you enter them. I can see the entrance to the actual castle far down a paved road. It's almost like it's an experience to approach the castle. It's a little gaudy, but I guess we just have different tastes. I wonder why there are some people partying out here. Are they full inside or something? Or maybe they just wanted to get away from the noise. Either way, This indicated that there was a ton of people at the ball. How do you get these trees to live here in this weather? They look like trees back in the mainland. They don't belong here. It must require a tremendous amount of care to ensure they stay alive. If anything, it serves to make me feel homesick. Part of the mainland is right here with me and my comrades. Puts me at ease, so I choose not to question the trees further.
What's this place for?
Security normally, but there isn't any during the ball. Anybody is just free to walk inside.
Oh, okay. Is security normally heavy?
Yeah, they need to fend off assassins. As a ruler here, you're constantly a target. I can't imagine living in that constant fear.
Wait, what happens if a leader is assassinated? Does the killer become the new ruler of Alarenthia?
No, the killer is usually given the death penalty, and then an open tournament is held to find the strongest man. It's considered cowardly to kill someone when they aren't prepared.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I was kind of wondering. I mean, Vivian could just easily assassinate Draku, right? But now it makes sense why they didn't go that route.
Yeah, it does seem like a great time to assassinate somebody. Just saying.
Yeah, it would change nothing. Vivian would still need to fight. He'd stand no chance in an open tournament like that. A Colosseum battle is the only way for him to do this.
Would people respect the change if Vivian won? Or would they want to fight him in the Colosseum too?
And they'd probably want to fight him for a while, but a ruler can always turn down a challenge. Usually they're arrogant, so they don't do that. And it's not a change they need to respect. No matter what, Vivian is still in charge. He'd likely merge with the new monarchy. And at that point, there's nothing they can do. History's already made, treaty's already signed. That is, if the monarch decides to side with Vivian.
It seems like an easy choice, doesn't it?
I guess we'll see.
Okay.
What's this place for?
Oh, look like there's something up there. And of course we're out of time. And that's fine. Hey, things happen. We walked slightly up the hill, and then Sovy was excommunicator. So that's gonna be the end of this. Let's place a comment, cause I like them comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, always. If you like my YouTube and Lexi Crow, and please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of Epic Grow. And please remember to maintain your ammo self-control. A pet population. I'm gonna drink this tea. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. See ya.